Hi, I'm JJ. Welcome back. This is another tag. I don't know if I'm going to post a tag for Tag Tuesday, but it is a tag video. And this was created by Mike over at Bibliophile Reads. It is the What If You Could Never Acquire Another Book tag. And then his second question to that would your home library sustain you? So the first question is, if you could never acquire another book, how long do you think your current library would last you? If we're talking about ebooks and audiobooks as well, I probably have at least 8 or 9 years of books that I would not have to buy anything new again, which is, now that I'm thinking about it, very good or bad, I guess, however you want to view that. Number 2, what book do you own that you would first give attention to? So I thought about this one. I wrote in our Discord a while ago that I was so frustrated that I could not find a English translated copy of a book, so I broke down and got the Spanish version just so that I would have it. I've been trying to learn Spanish. I certainly cannot read it, but if that was my only access to this book, I wanted it. And so it's by Ferdinand del Paso. It is a Mexican classic, and it's essentially News from the Empire is the name of it, which this copy actually, I got both, so I got it today when I opened it. I'm not sure when I'm going to post this, but I did open it today. So it's the picture drawn of the picture, and it's one, so this is about the last emperor of Mexico, Maximilian, and his wife Carlita, who ends up, Carletta goes crazy famously, and I've always been fascinated by her as a character, not as a character but as a historical figure, but this is a historical fiction novel about her and him and the ending of their empire down there. And so why I wanted this so bad is I'm also rereading the Odyssey and Ulysses, and there is a end passage. So Ulysses ends with Molly Bloom's famous soliloquy, which is one of my favorites. I really enjoy the speech that she has, and this is not only supposed to be a masterpiece, but Carlita's character, in the midst of her madness, the end, is supposed to be giving a very Molly Bloom-like soliloquy that is supposed to be epic and wonderful, and I wanted to read this in comparison with the Molly Bloom one while I was doing my rereads of the other one. Don't know if I'll read the whole story, but I specifically wanted to read that. But since I have no way to fully read this without, translating it myself and everything and taking forever and not getting anything out of it right away, I did break down and spent more money than I probably should have on any single book, and did get the English translated copy, which I was trying to avoid and waiting until it was something that I could more easily justify, but I got it. So this, by guilt, should be the one that I read first. Long story short to that question, but I definitely am going to read it, specifically the Carlita speech at the end, just to kind of get in preparation for my reread of the Ulysses story. But not the whole book yet. I know it's actually a lot longer than I was expecting, but it's actually not that long. The paper is actually really thick, so it's only it's like so it's over 600 pages, but it actually looks like it's a lot longer than that. But it has thick paper. So I just think it's kind of interesting that I have all these different pictures of Carlotta. So the actual photograph, as well as like the painted, her portrait, as well as the cartoonized picture, all for this one book that probably none of you have ever heard of, but that is on one of my top that I do want to get to. Number 3, what book would you regret not owning? So I've read a lot of books that I really enjoyed, and I did it either through the library, ebooks or audiobooks that I do want to have physical copies of. Some of them that first come to mind is I do want to make sure I get someday Radium Girls. I really enjoyed that. Most of them have been nonfiction, because I do tend to listen to more nonfiction than listening to fiction books. So I would like physical copies of it. I also really liked the Messalina biography that I read this year, and I would like a copy of Asada's autobiography, Malcolm X's autobiography, and the book Daughters of the Bamboo Grove. Those ones in particular, I know that I really loved and enjoyed, and so I would like it. I also don't currently have copies of Project Hail Mary, which I did order a special edition of, but it doesn't come out till December, so I don't think that counts as one that I can't get yet. But I would also like to get The Lilac People and The Librarian of Burned Books. Those were 2 of my top 10 books for this year, and I listened to both of those, which is I don't usually do for fiction, but I had access at the library to get those, and I did, and I really loved both of those. So it's not new ones that I would regret as much as ones that I know that I would like to revisit someday, and want to have access to if I know I already love them. The caveat to that is for new releases, it would be the series that I'm not finished with yet because they haven't come out yet. So I'm still waiting on book 4, the Locked Tomb trilogy. There is another book that comes out at the end of this year for the Echo Archives, which is a trilogy. It's fantasy sci-fi type, and both of those I guess would be considered that. And I also have there's one more that I have been waiting for. I read Queen of Faces this year, and that was a start. And I don't know if it's a trilogy or if it's going to be a duology, but they showed the title and the picture for the second book, and that will be. So it was Queen of Faces. So King of Masks is the name of the second book, and the Queen of Faces was one of my top books of all all time. So I do want to read that, the rest of that series, however long it is, and I would be devastated if I couldn't. So that would be like also number 1 on my list of things that I would miss. And so number 4. Would you miss discovering new books? I just talked slightly about that. Or would you enjoy rediscovering what you already have? And I definitely would enjoy rediscovering. I buy books that I've already read or listened to because I know I want to revisit them and I love them. but also I have so many unread ones on my in my own library that I know that I bought because I know that I'll enjoy them. So I would have a good time with my own library. Number 5, how would you handle seeing people talk about amazing new books that you couldn't get? I guess I wouldn't be so worried about spoilers anymore, since I would never be reading any of those. Please give me all the spoilers and tell me every single detail of the entire book so that I feel like I read it. That would be my only consolation to having people read and talk about exciting books that they love, is share all the reasons why it's amazing, so I can live vicariously through you. Number 6, would bookstores still be enjoyable if you couldn't buy anything? So you said buy anything, but do you mean books? Because you can still go to the bookstore and get like, I guess, bookmarks for books that I already have, food, magazines. Like, you could still like enjoy the bookstore. There's games and stuff at some of the bookstores. I do collect Funko Pops, so I could still get some of those. So I would basically be torturing myself by browsing through the books, but maybe I could browse the stores, figure out what books sound fascinating that I would have wanted to buy, and then looking up on BookTube and getting everybody's reviews and responses, and like I said, live vicariously through it. That's about the only way I can still make it fun. And then if I could buy those other things at the store. Otherwise, if I don't want to torture myself, I wouldn't, because it is really hard to go into a store, find a book that calls to you, and not be able to get it. Especially since you also said you can't acquire it at all, so it means I couldn't get it at the library either. So I just wouldn't want to like tempt myself with all of the access of books that I won't be able to read. Anyway, that was a very interesting prompt. I really enjoy your tags, Mike, so thank you for tagging me in it. Thank you for creating this prompt, and I hope that you enjoyed my version of it. I know that it's an older prompt. I'm behind on tags so far, but I'm going to look and see if there is anybody that hasn't, that you haven't tagged, and I'll try to tag a few people. But if anyone else does want to participate in this, that after watching it, feel free. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. As always, thank you, and happy reading.